Hey there, and welcome to Let's Talk Local. I'm your host, Sarah Subiata Bennett, and today we're diving into one of the hottest topics in Dallas, real estate. And not just any real estate, we're talking high-end luxury with two of the best in the business. I'm joined by the incredible Candy Evans and Harrison Polsky, two top-tier experts who know this market inside and out. We're busting myths, breaking down what's really happening, and even making some bold predictions about where things are headed. And stick around because later, Candy is taking us to tour some spaces right here in Dallas. It's going to be a great episode, so be sure to hit like and subscribe so you never miss a moment of Let's Talk Local. Let's get started. I am here today with Candy Evans and Harrison Polsky. I cannot thank you enough for being here today. So you both cover different aspects of real estate and some real estate dirt. You're a builder, you're a realtor. I mean, you are kind of the real estate agent hub for all that you do. But can you both just kind of summarize what it is that you do respectively so that our viewers and listeners who are not familiar with you can learn about you?
I'm scared to answer in front of her. But, no.
I am so excited to be sitting next to him. Let me tell you, this is going to be a great thing. You go first. Tell me what you do.
I've known you for so long.
I know.
I know to show up late for lunch. She's never on time, but it's okay.
We did mention this.
Today was a different,
It's okay. But I run a home building business called Katina Homes. We do 10 to 14 homes a year. Average price is $6.5 million. Park Cities, Preston Hollow only. Nothing outside that little bubble.
You don't do, Park Cities, Highland Park.
Yeah.
Okay.
Stick to what I know.
Yeah.
And then run a sales team of agents that all we do is new construction. We do about $160 million a year. So number one new construction sales team in Texas.
That's terrific.
That is
Thank
great.
you.
And I am Candy Evans of Candy's Dirt fame, which is a website that started as a blog. I call myself an accidental entrepreneur because I'm a journalist by training, but I kind of got obsessed. I've always been obsessed with real estate. And so I took it to the web and realized there was a niche in Dallas where the realtors did not have anything that they could, turn to that covered them, that recorded them, that chronicled them. So I started it when I was on staff at a local magazine here, and then it took off. And so I kind of went out on my own and took it on my own, and I run the business. And we have writers all over town, actually all over the Metroplex. And we do very well, and we love it because we're obsessed with real estate. We cover everything that's real estate, whether it's what's going on at City Hall, whether it's home builders, which is how I know Harrison, of course, and whether it's agents. And so we track it all, and that's why I'm here today. Thank you for having us.
Oh my gosh, thank
so
you for
much.
being here. Well, I just love real estate. It's so
I know.
sexy. And it's something that people will always just listen to. I mean, your entire Insta, all of your social is you talking about real estate, and you've garnered a really good following.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to live it, day in and day out, right? You can't fake it. I mean, that's every time you go somewhere, like just now, Candy's going to ask you a question, you're going to ask me a question. Yeah. So you're always living it day in and day out. My wife gets annoyed about it, but I mean, she's over it at this point. But it's what we like to do, and you have to be passionate about it.
It's better than being married to an OB-GYN, let me tell you. But
He's my OB-GYN.
I just learned a lot.
So I love him. That's actually how I moved into my house because they knew the family that lived in the house, and I was looking for a home in Highland Park. I was like, we'd like an acre ideally, but something that we can renovate and make our own. And then it wasn't listed. We just wound up, so I went to Candy and I heard you talk about this, how you're like, people do not go to Zillow when they're looking for these kinds of houses.
They do not.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a network. It's a community, and she's been a longtime friend of mine, my love, and clearly Walt has too. Yeah. And so it's because of them that we live in the house that we do now.
It's actually 50% now off market. It used to be around 40, and now it's closer to 50.
Really?
Yeah, it's been taking me a while because we were raising capital out of New York, and they just kept hearing this. They're like, yes, we understand. Miami has a shadow market, so you have a shadow market. And like, how can you prove it? And I'm like, I can't. Yes, I can. Deed trades. So if you figure out when the deed trades, that's how you can tell the difference. So I got a guy to create an algorithm that pulls the deed transfers off the city website. So whatever's
Interesting.
on MLS versus what's the deed transfer, that's how you know what the difference is. And we used to say it's 40, it's actually closer to 50.
To 50.
Interesting.
Yeah. Well, I just asked the brokers, and they Briggs and Compass and all these guys, and they will just tell me that 35 to 50% of the business is off market. Like when we sell our home, I'm not going to put it in MLS yet.
Yeah.
And the reason we don't want to do that is because someone buying our home wants to keep that tax rate down. The taxes in Texas are terrible. But getting back to what you said, I say that people in Dallas care about three things: oil, football, and real estate. And I would say that real estate might be first, and that's it. And that's the coverage.
Really? You don't think football trumps real estate?
Not with the way the Cowboys play.
Oh my gosh. Don't even, I know. It's so abysmal.
Who's the new coach? Who is this guy?
Okay, so you all are real estate experts. I'm dying to hear how you kind of break this part down. Where are you gauging? And I'm specifically interested in the hub that you are specializing in. Where do you foresee a lot of Dallas real estate moving? Because like you mentioned before we were even recording, the bullseye is moved north. And I want you to expand upon that statement for our listeners. But talk to me about where you see the market being in about 5 years. Since now we've had propositions S and U pass,
Thank God.
and things are different, right? But
It's still going up. I mean, in December, there was a lot on Beverly that traded at $425 a foot. And then 2 weeks before that, it was $385 a foot. And a week before that, $325 a foot. Like, that's still $60 a square foot higher than it was a year ago.
yeah.
I mean, she knows this just as well as I do. 6 years ago, you could buy a house in the Fairway of UP, 4,200, 4,500 square feet, 1.7. Now they're trading for 3.2, 3.4.
Yeah,
So you're going to
that's
sell that house to buy the same house? No.
Yep.
Plus your kids got to go to school, and they
Yep.
can't all jump up to 6-7 million. Then if you're not in Highland Park, Park Cities, and your kids are going to private school, where are you going to live? Preston Hollow, Bluffview, because you're
Yep.
not going to schlep from all over the Metroplex 40 minutes in the morning unless you want to get divorced. So you're going to live in Preston Hollow, so you're close to the schools. And where are all the good schools? In Preston Hollow.
Preston Hollow.
So I don't see that changing anytime soon, and especially as more people keep coming, it's just going to get more congested. Now the bullseye is moving north, but you need more schools up north to kind of offset that. So until that happens, I'm not buying it.
Okay.
Well,
okay.
So I disagree.
I have comments about this. So I want to hear your perspective, Candy. Why do you think the bullseye is
I think
moving
it is
north?
moving north. And
Define north for me.
I would say north of Dallas, northward of North Dallas, northward of Plano even, because Frisco Fields is going to be amazing when that is fully developed and done. So it's early yet, but eventually we will have, I think, the luxury of Highland Park Village at Frisco Fields. And those communities up there are really
You really
trying.
think?
I think so. I think what they're building, what the developer told us, was kind of funny. He said, if you think Legacy West is great, he said, what I'm doing at Frisco Fields is, in terms of retail, is going to make Legacy West look like the ugly stepsister. So it's going to be a very huge thing. But it needs time, because you've got the PGA up there. You've got all the entertainment. Universal is coming, up there. There's so much up there. The schools up there are... Have you been to the PGA?
My passport expired a little while ago.
Well, I went up there, and I turned around as I was leaving this beautiful contemporary building, and I said, oh my gosh, what is that gorgeous building right across the street? That is the high school. So in Frisco now, if you have a child who's very interested in golf, you can send them to school there, and they go to the PGA and play golf as their sport. I'm telling you, parents who want a scholarship for their kiddo, they're going to go there. They're going to love it. That's where I see it going. But do I think that Park Cities is ever going to lose its luster? No. I call that blue chip real estate just for that reason. I've got studies that I can share with you showing that the younger people, they're finding now, they're going out of the city. So you know how we once thought about 10 years ago, oh, everyone's going to be urban, everyone's going to live down. No. And COVID is what kind of accelerated that, because a lot of young people, millennials, said, you know what, we don't really like this living on top of everyone. We kind of want to get out and be out there. And that's why we're seeing, I think that's what's going to help drive the north here too. Because
Or even out to the... we have a ranch
in
east.
Tyler.
In Athens.
Athens,
Or it's really LaRue, but
Yeah,
it's
but that's
right
where we're
south
seeing
of
a lot
Athens.
of growth. And west,
Yes.
Weatherford, too,
Yep.
on the other side of Fort Worth.
Yep.
They've all come back. I mean, I was just back home in New York, and they had to put that congestion tax in because there's too much traffic again.
Yep.
Right.
So it's, I mean, they're all coming back. They're not, I mean, people her age aren't going out to the suburbs to live. Are you crazy? You know how long it would take for them to get a green juice in their 5 yoga classes?
Well, here's the thing. I would have a very hard time living in a suburb. Very hard time. I love the city. I love the ranch, but they're two totally different spaces, right? I mean, you do one or the other for different reasons. The appeal is different, but I have never lived north or west or east. You know, that would have been pretty tough for me.
I'd be dead. I can't do it.
Listen, and I went to school in New York, so I know where you're coming from. I mean, I love the culture here. I love the Tate lecture series. I'm obsessed with. I've always said that my dream would be to live right next to a college because I love having all that constant learning going on. As far as us moving, we had planned to move and downsize because we really have too big of a home, 6,800 square feet for your
I
clients.
know
by
we're
the way.
working on it.
And it's a great home, and I'm going to be in tears, and I'm going to need lots of love and Xanax, you know, to get through this because I built the home. And I know. And we put our heart into it. I mean, we walked it every day and called the builder and drove him crazy. And luckily, Walter delivered 3 babies for him, so he put up with us, you know. And we love it. We have had 0 problems. He took care of things for 10 years until he moved from Dallas. Imagine that.
She's trying to sign me up for this.
Oh my God. And, you know, we love the neighborhood. We love everything now except the maintenance. But I'm thinking I want to go to a gated community because a gated community is just another layer of protection. And I hate saying that, but I feel like going into a gated community, if I accidentally leave my purse in the car because the phone rings and I've got this that I'm doing and the dogs are escaping, or all that madness that happens in life sometimes, I don't want to go, oh my God, I left someone will take it. There's another layer of protection there that we don't get in Dallas. And that's my analysis of this. And I told Walter, I would move north but he's not delivering, but he's never liked being far from the hospital. You know, he's never liked that.
I wish there was more outdoor activity in Dallas. I wish downtown was bustling a heck of a lot more than it is now.
And people weren't being shot.
Yeah. I mean, the crime, it really does bother me. but as far as what he's saying, like speaking to the people who are sending their kids to school here, I mean, I think we're one of 3 or 4 Highland Park families that drive our kids to a Dallas school. But it's trending upward. I have several of my neighbors on the admissions list to try to get in and they can't. So, you know, there's still, but it's interesting how that is shifting. You're right. Most people are moving to North Dallas, right? To that entire Preston Hollow community. Yeah. But more and more within these pockets, there are these smaller homeowners type of communities where they'll pay for an off-duty police officer to patrol.
EMPs, they call them.
Yes, exactly. The neighborhood patrols. And I was involved in mine kind of right behind Jesuit and St. Rita before we moved to Highland Park, but very much so. What do you believe homeowners are having to prepare themselves mentally for? So I know now you're like, I'm sitting here talking about defense. Do you find more of your clients being concerned with security systems, or is it just kind of, wait, what's so funny? I'm serious. Like, is it more of a topic that they're bringing up?
I remember I was there when I was at Park House with my attorneys and their YPO group when BLM marched on Highland Park Village.
Yeah.
And state troopers, Highland Park cops came in. We can't let you leave.
Yeah.
And every one of us said the same thing. Why? And they said, this is what's happening. And we said, yeah, we're cool. We all have,
it's fine.
You know, we all have whatever we need.
Yeah.
Because that's the problem. So does everyone in Highland Park that's on their roofs right now with rifle. Like that, they were more scared of us shooting them than us getting shot.
That's interesting.
Interesting.
So I had a buddy of mine that was taking pictures on his roof. he's on his Beverly roof with his, his hunting rifles. Like, come on, So I'm not worried about any of that stuff around here. Look, if you go from the mansion all the way up to about 635, name 3 other places in the United States besides Palm Beach, Greenwich, and here that you feel actually safe, and it has that same sort of feel. There's only 3 places like that, and maybe back in the day Beverly Hills. There's nowhere else. So
I feel safe in Aspen.
Well, but I mean, yes.
Well, okay.
4.
Well, sorry.
4. I don't think that's ever going to change because I just think that's just the way it is. I mean, everyone here, let's just be honest, it's Texas. Like, how many guns do you have in your car at a time?
Yeah.
I mean, I got 3. So,
too.
I'm sure the guy next to me has 2.
I do too. But you know who I'm concerned with? My girlfriends.
Yeah.
I'm concerned about my girlfriends.
I won't
Does your wife carry?
What?
No.
Yeah. Sometimes.
See? It depends on the outfit.
she
It
doesn't.
depends on that's the thing. And it is the women that are attacked. It's my friends. So how are you having these conversations with, let's say, a couple? And let's say someone in the relationship travels a lot and it's a mom at home with a bunch of kids. Like, what do you tell them? Hey, let me talk to you about the security system. Are you having those conversations?
I mean, yeah, we look, we have the same conversations all the time, and like it doesn't change anything. It's whether it's going to happen or it's not going to happen. It's going to happen here or it's going to happen there. Once again, I don't live in fear, so just be prepared for every moment. That's
Same.
the way I live. So,
Well, and I'm not going to live in fear either.
I just want people to be prepared.
Yeah, I'm going to be prepared.
Especially
I'm
my
gonna
girlfriends.
Just,
should we take tactical classes together?
I know.
Happy
Totally.
to.
Well, my husband carries too. He's got a lock box, and which I said, "Where is your gun?" He said, "Well, it's locked." He put a little box thing that's strapped in the box because he goes out at night, and I worry about him, but he's got it. We went to the Perot Museum, and they had to hold his gun while we went inside.
Oh yeah,
because he couldn't take it in. But I don't because I don't want it to get in the wrong hands. That's what I'm concerned about. But I totally could shoot, and I would totally protect my grandchildren or my dogs even,
Yeah.
But what I'm concerned about, what I'm hearing more concerned about is people are very safe in their neighborhoods because they have their alarms and everything. It is our shopping centers. And I think we have to get the developers have to start being more proactive. Now I'm seeing more of that at Preston Forest. They have the lights and the cameras and the police.
They beefed up Preston Center.
They have.
Beefed up Preston Center because so much. I have my jewelry friend there. The guy came in with a gun and pointed at her. Employees.
It was bad for her a little bit. But
And then they had the guy, the security guard, who was killed in the parking garage. So.
When did that happen?
Oh, I'll send you the story.
Yeah,
it's on
I read
Candy's
it.
Dirt. You're not reading every day, but I think.
I don't have enough to read.
I know.
Same.
Let me ask you this: do you ever have someone buy a home who says, "I don't want an alarm system"?
No.
See?
Well, especially not his target market.
Right,
These
right.
people are
Everyone
just like,
wants an
you're
alarm.
going to put in the best security system.
Yeah.
It's just part of the conversation. But okay, kind of moving away from this. So you've been house hunting.
Yes.
You're downsizing.
We're
And so-
downsizing, yes.
And so you are now, so you're not going to build. I know you thought about building for a moment.
Well, it never say never because I have been. I'm going to confess, I do have a real estate license. And of course, I'm not an experienced realtor. I use my license to research and, stay on these guys and find out what they're doing, to hang with them. But I say I sleep with
She's
them.
the one disclosing the sales to the city. That's how they know what her properties are valued. Thanks, Candy.
You got it.
my
You got
gosh.
it. But so one of the things I have done is that I've been really pokey about this because we overanalyze everything. My husband and I. I mean, most people will look at a home 3 times. We look at a home 16 times, and just go over it. So
You're scaring everyone right now.
No,
I want to build for you.
I think it's very interesting. I'm like, tell me more.
It's like, you're getting the inside story now. So we had found this home actually we found 2 homes in Lake Forest that we kind of like because A, it's a gated community, B, it's next to the hospitals. It's near the hospital. So it's close.
Do you know
to
where
my
Lake Forest
husband.
is?
No.
Can you?
It's on the corner of the northeast corner of Hillcrest and Forest in Dallas, and it was developed by, I'll think of the name of it because it was developed in the 1990s, and I actually wrote about Lake Forest when it was being developed. I went to the open houses. I think I toured some of the houses that I went to, and write about for when I was at D or when I was, started Candy Sturt. So anyhow, I know that it's there. The Strauss family is the developer. It was a former golf course. And it's
I didn't
very
know
nice
that.
area. The very small lots. I'm going to go from an acre to 0.19 of an acre, which is going to be shocking. But on the other hand, it's less maintenance, right? So, and all the homes most of the homes there are 4,000 to 5,000. There's some that are much larger than that. There's one there that's 10,000 with like a 3-car garage and a shooting gallery in the basement. There's all kinds of things there, but it's secure, it's gated, and there is a 24-hour guard there. So, as people who are going to be traveling a lot, we're thinking, this is good. This is a good place to go. So I found one house I liked, and 3 days later, it was gone. I'm like,
why don't you just go vertical and go to no condo?
I have 2 doodles.
So, you don't want to do the schlepping up and
No,
down?
Yeah, it's a lot.
No. Yeah, it's
a
hard.
lot.
And there are children now,
Yeah.
So we looked at that. So that house was gone. That was fine. So we looked at another one. And it seems like every time I start looking at a house, it sells. Someone else buys it. But now we're going back and we're looking at the house with the guy who bought it because he's a builder. And he wants to sell it. And so we're working with him now to see if we can buy it now, and then we can call
Work it
out
out.
do the finish out and everything, and put up with me.
Oh my goodness.
After watching this, you're just going to be like, oh no.
He's like, pass.
Yeah, pass.
So, okay. So I love this just kind of insight. I think it's really helpful. But kind of over to you whenever you have these conversations with people. So you said that you have about how many builds versus...
So right now we're about to we're finishing up 4, about to start another 4 right now. And then my team will this year deliver about 80 between Lakewood and Midway Hollow. Their average for the team, their new builds are about 2.5.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, mine are about 6.5.
Yes. That's great. There is one home that I saw, remind me to send it to you, that I saw in his portfolio, and it has so much character. It's beautiful. The angles, the
next
curb
4 that
appeal.
we have that we're delivering. So we made a really good strategic partnership with Hair-Spriggs, which is William Briggs' son.
Yeah, absolutely.
And C's Design. So C's, they did Mr. Charles, and so all of our product moving forward is like every house is completely different. Like we just finished a Cape Dutch house. University is very old world French. I just was back in New York, so we're doing a house on Wildwood that's basically going to look like a townhouse, not a townhouse, like Fifth Avenue, like brownstone.
Yeah.
And so like everything we do is completely different. We have a hacienda that we're doing also on Pomona with them. It's going to feel like you're at Las Ventanas. So it's like everything.
It. We're doing Spanish Mediterranean.
So we try to always do that on every project. Like it's something, nothing's ever rinsed repeated. It's somewhere I've been, Sal's been, and it's just like, it's unique, right? And it like, you'll not even, if you drive past it, you won't even think it's new. Like that's always a goal.
It is. That is an absolute goal.
Ultimate goal for us. Like we don't want you to think it's new at all.
Yeah.
And we love those homes. I love to find a home and go, oh my gosh, how old is it? Oh, it's new. I'm like, that gives us something to write about.
That's right.
Basically.
It's not cheap to do that,
No.
but
No, it's not.
But it's good. You know?
Yeah. Where in the Dallas area, and I'm saying north, east, southwest, city center, what 2 areas, in your opinion, separate opinions, are the prime spaces to possibly look at investing in?
That's a tough one.
Bluffview, and then I would take Tollway to Midway, Walnut to Royal.
Okay.
Northwest Highway to Royal.
Northwest
Bluffview,
Highway
I was
to
really
Royal.
surprised. Where's Bluffview?
Okay.
Bluffview.
Like Wildwood.
Yeah.
So the number of homes sold there, January, December 2024, were down 10%.
Where?
In Greenway Parks, Devonshire, and Bluffview. And then the median sales price was down 8%.
You need off markets.
Oh, off markets will change that. Okay. See,
this is so good that you knew she was not accounting for that.
No, because there's no one accounting for that.
So that's what I was going to say. Is there no one accounting for it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that proprietary?
You have to call Brian or you have to call Mark.
Is this proprietary?
We're in a non-disclosure state.
Yeah. Right.
Okay, but
so we don't have to do that.
But question, is there anyone who could possibly pay you for this data?
I don't think you're allowed to disclose it. I think even like the appraisers, the only way you can actually know is if you're getting a house appraised and include those off markets.
That they find from the realtors themselves, because they can't find it online.
No, they actually have to technically have appraised that house.
Got you.
But okay, aside from that, so let's say someone is going through all of these steps and they ask you for this data. The data that you quoted me about the 50% being done off market.
Correct.
What area is that covering?
That's Park Cities. And so that's off the D transfers, right?
Okay.
So what we did, because
So you know Preston Hollow.
me and Sal and my partners nerd out about this stuff, is we were trying to figure out exactly how much this was. Because if you're trying to raise money,
Sure.
like no one's like, I believe you.
Yeah.
Like
right.
I'll take you for your word.
Right.
So what we did is we figured out how to scrape everything off the D transfer. So we knew what sold on MLS and what didn't. There's a delta right there. And then based upon comps that sold, we created a formula to create the value for those off markets. And knowing the market pretty well, we were like, it's on point. Then Preston Hollow was the same thing. It was 28%. Bluffview is about 30%. They're all about the same. I mean, it is what it is.
Interesting.
And there's not a lot of transactions in Bluffview, period.
Right.
There's maybe 15, 20 a year.
Yeah, because
I know.
That was the thing that happened last year, and we all know that's because of whether it affects your buyers or not. The interest rates, they create a psychological block for people. Oh my God, no one's buying or selling because of interest rates. And if you're sitting with the two,
But people are paying cash.
Yeah, they're paying cash right,
for these homes.
Exactly.
I mean, you're not going to go get a note on
So look,
a $10 million
the funniest
home.
story, and Sal laughs about this story every time I tell it. So we were selling this house on in Preston Hollow, and the buyer kept delaying everything because he kept coming change order after change order after change order. And his wife was like, how are we going to be able to afford this house with the mortgage going up? And he talked in hotel room rates. He goes, you know how we go to Las Ventanas for 3 weeks?
Yes.
We're only going to go for a week and a half. And I'm like, $2,200 a night times 10 days plus $800 a day for food and booze, not forgetting fishing. That's about 30, 40 grand. That's the mortgage difference. Thank you. Bye. That's how they think.
Interesting.
That's how it is. You're just going to swap something out. You know, they're not thinking about that.
No, that's what I'm saying. Those buyers, no one's. You're just not.
They're talking in hotel rates.
Their hotel rates. Which, by the way, we were discussing this last night at the panel I had, and Blake Stevenson from Modern Luxury was so funny. We were talking about second homes and people that's picking up again, and she said, "Well, look at hotel rates. I mean, they're going up." And I go, "And don't I love it?"
I know.
I said, "Don't I
Amen.
love it?
Please.
I said, give me those $2,400.
That's
night
right.
rooms at the
Absolutely.
Ritz.
That's
Give
right.
me 5 of them. You
Yep.
know? So you're so right about that though, and it's the trade off that it's not that much of a difference. It's not. It's really in the whole spectrum of time of 30 years or whatever. It's a drop.
It's a drop.
Yeah.
Okay, so I love that. Did you give me your answer on the 2 areas?
Oh no, I didn't, because I'm thinking about them. So, and I think what's interesting is
processing aloud.
I'm processing, right? What I'm thinking, and I'm looking at, this is the MLS figures that I pulled from, because Lori always sends me these things. Plano actually went up, in their inventory went up 7%, and their prices went up 1%. North Dallas, north of LBJ, also went up 4%. Northwest Highway south of LBJ up 15% in prices. So our prices were all up except for Preston Hollow, which was down 2%. Greenway Parks, Bluffview is down 8%. And of course, Highland Park, University Park up 1% because it's blue chip real estate. So I agree with you on Bluffview because I think it's beautiful. And I think as people discover that, especially people coming from Pacific Palisades, they're going to love that look, that topography that you cannot, you just cannot.
Preston Hollow for $1.5 million? I don't think so.
You don't think so?
That doesn't sound right.
That's what I'm telling you.
No, those are teardowns.
A lot costs 1.8.
Yeah.
I think you took it a teardown for
Because the lots are still
1.5,
pretty good size.
155, like between Walnut and Royal on like Mimosa, but below that you're at like 1.8, 1.95.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Like the off-market data will skew that.
Skew that.
I appreciate you both being here. Is there anything else that you think we need to touch upon? Because we're at 15 after.
One thing I wanted to point out was that, this is kind of sad, but catastrophes really accelerate with the real estate business. There is
What do you mean?
Well,
can you clarify that?
Catastrophes make people want to buy homes because like they either lose them during a tornado.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Which is what happened, you know, in our neighborhood in 2019. So this is why I'm very rest assured that something will transpire with our home if we move. They want it furnished, and he said they're even saying they'll pay up to $50,000 a month in rent. I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm old enough to remember that's what a house cost, $50,000. Now they're going to pay that.
That is
per month.
I know.
That is no bueno.
We are in an affordable housing crisis, and we are not dealing with that. But it is a problem, and I feel badly that young people cannot. Like my kids, thank God, all have homes, their own homes, because I beat on them and said. In fact, Trey, my son, who bought 3 homes in California, I was like, "Are you kidding me? What are you doing?" Be quiet, Mom. I know what I'm doing. And he did. He knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
So, it's just I feel so sorry for the younger people because I think we're going to start seeing homes being passed down generationally, and some of the ones you're building probably.
I mean, if these people are making so much money in Bitcoin, I don't think they're worried about it.
He's got such a positive attitude. I love it.
He does. He's like, crime is not going to bother us.
No, it's great.
We're fine.
You're better
Life is beautiful. Life is great.
Harrison is better than his Xanax.
Yeah.
Really are.
I am Xanax.
Oh my
I
gosh.
am Xanax.
Oh my
You're
gosh. I think
amazing.
it's
Just all sit here.
hilarious.
Simple.
It must be that running.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for being here.
Thank you so much.
Yes, I appreciate it. That was an awesome conversation, and I'm so happy they were both able to be here. But I thought it'd be really fun if we could actually see something in person. It's one thing to just talk real estate, but it's an entirely different thing to actually go visit it. So I asked Candy if she'd take us on a tour of some spaces in the market. Lucky for us, she said yes. Stick around as we step inside and see firsthand what all the buzz is about. You won't want to miss this, so thank you for being here. Hey there, it's Sarah. I know I originally said we'd be checking out more than one space with Candy, but full disclosure, plans changed the moment I stepped into this first house, and trust me, you're about to see why. Let me paint a picture for you. This Crescent Estates masterpiece is more than 11,000 square feet of pure luxury. That's 5 times the size of a typical new build in Texas. It's located in Old Preston Hollow, and this estate is listed just under $16 million. Once you see it, you'll understand every penny. Here's the rundown. 7 bedrooms, over 9.5 bathrooms, and a sprawling 1.8 acre lot. And if the stunning 42-foot pool view from the living area ever gets old, very unlikely, just head out to your own tennis or pickleball court for a little friendly competition. The backyard, it's a perfect mixture of turf and real grass, so you get the best of both worlds. Plus, a gorgeous indoor, outdoor, enclosed kitchen for all your entertaining needs. And let's talk about the primary suite. Not just separate sinks, but his and hers bathrooms and walk-in closets that could double as little boutiques. And did I mention the media room? A mother-in-law suite with 2 bedrooms and an oversized 6-car garage. You really have to see this home to believe it. So come with us as we explore every jaw-dropping detail of this stunning new build on Hollow Way in Dallas. Okay, so we are here today, right?
Yeah.
In this beautiful home. And we're here with Charles Gregory. Charles, tell us who you are.
I'm, first of all, the listing agent for this property.
For this beautiful home.
And I'm with the Perry Miller Strife team at Dave Perry Miller Real Estate.
Can you tell us a little bit about the history of this place?
Well,
how it was built, why?
It was custom
space.
designed and built for the current owner. It was built for this lot. And it's extraordinary. The most extraordinary thing about this house is that it's almost entirely on one level.
And so tell me really quickly before we walk in tour, what are your favorite spaces, your personal favorite spaces in this
My
gorgeous
personal
home?
favorite spaces, I love the living room with that gorgeous view across the backyard.
Yep. As I chatted with Candy and Harrison, and we talked about what's important to people that live or that are looking at these particular types of homes, or even remodeling their existing home to be something like this home, you'll then see some of those pieces of conversation that are important to us. So let's get looking.
Yeah.
Can we?
Yeah, sure.
Let's go.
Awesome.
Let's go. I can't wait. So this is actually what it looks like whenever you come in. And there's, of course, another huge home being built over there across the way. There's a nice gate for privacy in the front. And this is remarkable. This is a gathering space, and there's 4 kitchens?
Yes.
Okay.
You have the main kitchen, family kitchen.
Okay.
And then you have an incredible chef's kitchen for catering.
Yep.
The condominium I told you about upstairs has a full kitchen. And then the guest house, the entertainment house, has a kitchen and a pizza oven.
Well, let's go see it. Look at this. Oh my goodness, and it's, I love
This is where you were asking me about views.
I love it for the entertainment
I love
aspect.
this view.
Oh my gosh, Charles. So this leads us out.
Yes.
Do you mind if I walk over with them really quickly? Ooh, this is nice.
The bulk of this backyard is this super high quality turf.
Yep.
But behind, there's a huge play yard that's grass.
Oh, really? Okay.
All behind that wing.
How divine. So you could just sit here. This is kind of like your little break area if you don't want to be inconvenienced to go over there.
Right.
But this is, perfect.
That's really designed for family everyday grilling and outside.
Exactly. But, I'm thinking if you have people here, you need to have some nice refrigeration.
Sure.
Right, things, amenities for kids.
Yes.
Especially, we have 3 11-year-olds and a 9-year-old. So they're very active, lots of friends over all the time. And so for me, it's always kid-centric.
It'd be a great recharging space for their moms and a glass of wine while the kids are out there playing.
Amen to that.
It's a multi-use facility.
It is. Oh, look at this media room. How fantastic. Isn't this great? So this is the space that he was talking about. So there's 2-car garage and then a few of the others. This is great. See, this is perfect. So Candy and I are both in this crazy phase. I'm totally gutting the interior of my home here in Dallas, and Candy is downsizing, like we talked about on the show, from her home for many years. And is going to be moving into a new space.
We're redoing the home. We're kind of doing, I call this almost like a ludicrous speed remodeling. I was teasing the builder yesterday in email, and I said, we're doing this so quickly. I have to go tomorrow and pick out lavatories and all that stuff. And so I'm really looking at all the little things here to see what I want.
And so now we're going to see something like, I don't know if you caught it, but what's super unique about this place is that it's not just a separate bathroom. They're separate spaces entirely. So let's go see what this custom area looks like.
I would not look at a home with a closet that I shared with my husband. No.
Isn't that interesting?
This must be his side because
this is his side,
he's
for
got
sure.
the huge shower.
Exactly.
Yes. The body wash. Okay.
Yep.
I'm going to check out what those.
And then and look at the large closet space. So this is just one closet in the primary suite, right? So this is one of the parties, and then we'll go and see what the other. I would claim this is mine. Because there is
and look at this. There's a shower and a tub.
Yeah.
I love it.
But this is correct. Because I'm the only one that takes baths.
I know.
He doesn't take baths, and he
do you
couldn't fit
mind
in
if
here.
I try getting in this tub, Charles?
Oh my gosh, I thought about it.
Because you know what? I'm trying to figure out, seriously, if I should do a vessel. Okay. No, I just don't want to be unladylike. But okay, so you could sit here. Okay, 1, 2, 3, this way. Okay. So I could very lovely, like this. Okay, down we go. Oops, okay, this is good. Okay, so you could lay and just relax. I'm crazy. But no, seriously.
No.
This is not that hard to get out of. I don't think. We'll see. Okay. Let's see.
Give it a test. Sure. I'll make sure I block any kind of
Look at that. Okay, even with cowboy boots.
Rated R.
1, 2, 3, over. That's not bad.
And these have to be heated, right?
Oh yeah, the floors have. Oh, sorry guys, I just had to try that.
No, you're good. This is great. No,
okay,
it's perfect.
that one would work.
Well, this, I think, kind of shows all the highlights of this magnificent space.
Yes, I was just telling her about it.
Every space that you look at has a story, has unique character traits that can be customized or not for your family. But in small spaces, small homes, big homes, you can always take ideas from spaces like this. I love it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.